Good morning, guys and dolls. So it's Friday, weekend's here. The sun's trying to come out. Yesterday, I don't know what it is. I was talking to Katie yesterday about it. We were going to get milk for the baby, and the sky was just overcast. And I'm just saying, it's like it's always overcast. I remember like the winters, because I'm a driver, so I can remember the winters with the low sun. You know why the sun, it just comes up and then it goes down again. Basically it doesn't go up in the sky really. It does, and it always basically stays really low and always in your eyes. And me, I'm quite sensitive to the sun with my eyes, and it's always been something that really annoys me. You know what I mean? And I've noticed recently, like there seems to be a layer over the sky all the time, and I'm like thinking, me, I'm always thinking outside the box, for want of a better word. But and I was saying, like, God knows what's going on behind them clouds up there. You know what I mean? Because you could see little gaps of the blue sky, and it looked amazing. You know what I mean? It really did look amazing. You know what I mean? And like even the clouds don't look right. They just don't look right. They don't look like normal clouds. It's all very very strange, very conspiracy theorist sort of thing. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to touch on it. It's just something I'm noticing, guys. I am noticing changes. I am noticing airplanes coming across the sky, and I see planes going across the sky that have the exhaust coming out. It's basically warm exhaust in cold air. And it disappears. You normally have a wee streak behind it, but it normally disappears. But recently, I'm seeing these planes that are just flying and they're just leaving a streak. And then I've got videos. I've captured it. You know what I mean? I've got a couple of videos on my TikTok. I might throw a couple up here. One there. One, two, three, four. All over West Lothian.
And look at this plane here, there's
Nothing,
coming
nothing,
out of the
nothing.
back here.
Look at tulip. Lots of sky. I took photographs of a couple of hours ago. Less than 2 hours ago, I think. Look at it now. I've never been into this sort of thing, to be honest with you guys. Getting trails, I never really thought much about it. Because I've always seen like the trails from airplanes. But these are different this morning. Really different. And it was like 5 X's right in the middle. It wasn't like a cross, it was an X. So they've done it, it's done in purpose. These planes have crossed over exactly across each other's paths, or like the same plane. So sorry for this. Oh well, if I get the time, because I'm going to see my psychiatrist today. So it's a lot on my mind right now. You know what I mean? It's not really comfortable, and I'm not easy with it. It's not something I look forward to. It's like an hour. An hour isn't enough. You know what I mean? An hour leaves things unsaid, things unfinished. 110%. The whole concept of going to see somebody for an hour, in my eyes, is ridiculous, and that's the God's honest truth. You know what I mean? it's just, it's not set up right. I don't know what the answer is, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people probably think an hour's too much, you know. I just think with my head and the way I can come across and speak and be here, there, and everywhere, it's like I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to things like this because I don't know what to say and I want to get fixed. Um, you know, and then sometimes I'm feeling as if I can do better myself, you know what I mean? And it's not for a name, but that's just who I am as well, you know what I mean? But yeah, I've got videos, and one of them, like, it's just lines, you know what I mean? Where they've just been running up and down the sky. And like one of them, I've got the plane actually moving, I've got the stuff coming out the back, and then there's a gap, and then it starts again. And like, I was talking to one of my mates about it, and he was like, "What, did they turn the engine off?" And I'm like, "Right enough, right enough. You know, did they turn the engine off? Did they just stop running the engine and the exhaust, just because there's no exhaust, and then kick the engine back in again?" No, I do believe planes can fly without the engines, but I don't know if it's a very good idea. Maybe they were testing a plane. Could have been a possibility. Could be a legitimate answer. You know, geez, oh guys, you know, like I say, I'm just a bank robber. You know what I mean? It's above my pay grade, you know. But yeah, it's just strange, very strange. But hope you're having a good day today. This will probably catch you early in the morning, and just getting my wee coffee. Just give the dogs their breakfast. Tulip's right here. She's never far. Our Tulip, bring you down a wee touch. Tulip's never far. And boy's at my feet. You can hear a boy in the background. So yeah, they've had their breakfast. Put them out the back. So I did. Gonna go for a quick shower and then head and get the bus into the city centre and up to the hospital and get my appointment, you know. So yeah, that was a strange day for me. That was interesting. So it is. So always learning about myself. I suppose we're always learning about ourselves, you know what I mean? But you know, I try and from the experience, this is all what it's about. You know, try and bring my experience online. You know, and I know most of you, it's not like that. You know, yeah, I do. There is this side of my video, guys, where it is for random people who are this may be reach that can maybe get something out of the ramblings that I have, maybe a snippet every now and again. You guys yourselves, you are just been with me from the start, most of you, and have been through the journey and the ups and downs. And I've got to know me personally because I speak quite frank and honest about myself. And I think, like, you know, that's all that is about with us, you know, the 200 that watch my videos every single day, you know, and it's like, it's not about anything else really. It's just about flicking on your TV and seeing what Freedom Dad's up to today because he's just a normal guy. He doesn't edit. He doesn't stop his videos. He doesn't stop, read stuff and click the video back on, bang. You know, because it is good. I like that. That is like, that's journalism. Like, you know, I'm not putting names out there. It's not about that. But, you know, that is something I will think about doing 110%. You know, if I did start another channel up, you know, because this is something else I'm thinking because I'm trying to think of a way of making a bit of money. Obviously, guys, you know what I mean. Yes, you know, anybody doing this is trying to do that, but I don't want to do it from my channel. I want to keep this pure and whole, and it's really important to me that there's no advertisements, there's no bullshit. You know, I don't even like throwing up fucking like, share and comment and thingy and subscribe. One of the reasons why I do that, believe it or not, is just to let you know it's coming to the end of the video. You know, sometimes I just feel like I like that. That's what I like. I don't like watching a video if I'm into it, especially somebody who captures me and before you know it, 15-20 minutes is gone and the end of the video. And I just feel sometimes I feel like it's 15-20 minutes of my life I'm never getting back. You know, and you know, it's not in a bad way. I'm just being frank and open as always. And sometimes I just think, whenever you have a wee hang at the end, you know, it lets you think where you are, what you're doing. You know, oh yeah, I'm watching Freedom Dad, I'm being engrossed, you know. Yeah, what am I going to start doing next? So you're thinking about what you're doing next before you come to the end of my video, rather than having it just going, God bless, and boom, I'm gone, you know what I mean? So that's just a wee personal thing that I prefer and I like, and you know, you would probably be totally different to me, and it doesn't make a difference to you, you know what I mean? It's just, like I say, that's one of the reasons why I do it. You know, as I told you know, I'm going to throw something up just to show you the interest. I'm going to show you this. It's not, in fact, not going to do it just yet. Wait, let me give you a wee intro first. So, I'm going to show you what my channel was like when I started. Now, you've got to understand, it was terrifying. Please believe me, it was terrifying. The 140 at the top, the one you see first of all, 140,000. Now, I want you to have a wee quick look at the comments. Never mind the likes, just look at the comments. And I'm not putting the comments up, I just want you to look at the number of comments. It's terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And I'm not kidding you on. And it's, when I say terrifying, it's like overwhelming. It's something that I'm not used to, you know. Um, Overwhelming to me is walking in their prison, in their wing, you know, on your own. Just moved from another jail. Because remember, when I was in England, I was moved about an awful lot. I was ghosted. They call it ghosting, but they just come randomly. It's a fucker, so it is, you know what I mean? Because you normally get stuff out. People owe you stuff. This is like, I was always making money in prison, always doing deals. And my game was cigarettes and tobacco and sweets. So Mars bars was normally the big one, but it would go from Snickers to Crisps to all sorts to Kit Kats. You know what I mean? But the Mars bars, it was mostly Mars bars, if I'm honest. You know what I mean? And it was one Mars bar for £2. So at the weekend, guys would come to me and get Mars bars, and then they would pay me double back when they get paid. Same as cigarettes, one cigarette, one £2. You know, and then, like, once I had so much, then I would go to a guy and change it for money and stuff like that, you know, because I never took drugs or nothing. You got to understand that, you know what I mean? Especially the England jail, never even touched weed or nothing, you know what I mean? I never touched cannabis till way later on in life, you know what I mean? And so that's overwhelming, you know, me walking in there wing where you don't know anybody, you're on your own, especially when you're a young man, just turned 21, just moving into the adult system, and you're walking in the Dartmoor, HMP Dartmoor, the dustbin of Britain, that's what they called it, you know. So that's overwhelming for me, you know what I mean? Really, like, whoa. And like, so it's the same sort of thing for this, you know what I mean? I put a YouTube video out and it goes, and like, it's overwhelming. It really is overwhelming. And I don't do overwhelming. I don't like overwhelming. It's something that it doesn't fit very well. Please believe me, you know. And so it's one of the reasons why I don't push the channel as much as I could. It's one of the reasons why I pulled away from the speaking as well, to be honest with you, because I realised I was getting a lot of footfall from doing my speaking, and yeah, but lo and behold, the YouTube helped me out, you know. So, but this is just an example of what happens to right wing YouTubers, conservative YouTubers, anybody that talks about anything that the government do not want you talking about. Because I don't come on here and I don't lie. I'm a nice person. I'm a really good hearted soul, and I know that, and you don't know that, but I do. And there's nothing I can do to prove that. There's many men will come and they'll say, oh, he's not, he's a bad man, you know what I mean? I don't know what to say about that, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, they're probably a lot better than me, you know what I mean? To be honest with you, like, and that's the truth. One of the things I keep saying all the way through my life, I've never done nothing bad to a good person. And I still to this day stand by that. Yes, robberies, bank robberies, stuff like that can be terrifying. but I did try to rob the banks in a way that wasn't. I did try my best. If anybody knows anything about me, any police, any investigators, detectives, that's one thing they'll always say about me. Every single bank robbery that they think that I've done, it's always been done in seconds. It's always been done in under 40 seconds. I'm no kidding you on. There's never been a gun pointed at anybody. I've never told anybody to get on the ground. Maybe there's been earlier on guns pointed. I'm not going to say 110%. There has been a couple of times when people have got a wee bit rowdy, and as a robber, you're having to tell people, listen, this is an armed robbery. You know what I mean? It's like people here with guns. You know what I mean? Calm down. Because I used to try and obviously that's not what I said. I'm not going to tell. That's nuts. You know what I mean? But obviously that's the rhetoric. That's the way I am. I talk calmly. I try to calm people down. Because there's other things I've been involved in that are a lot bigger than armed robberies. You know what I mean? Obviously, see, you know what I mean. That goes without saying. But I'm not, like I say, I am a considerate bank robber, believe it or not. You know what I mean? We would always make sure there wasn't any women and children in the bank. That was one thing that we always done. We always had somebody looking, or ourselves, you know what I mean? Because it's just the way it is. We knew how to behave. We knew when to rob a bank. You wouldn't rob a bank with the sun blazing and everybody's jumping about in their shorts and t-shirt and you're all closed up with a baseball cap, Scott, ready to pull up. Common sense, you're picking rainy days, you're picking windy days, you're picking days when people have got the umbrellas up, people have got their heads down, nobody's paying any attention. So you're able to float about a wee bit longer with the hat down and the umbrella up, whatever, because all the cameras are above. There's no cameras down facing up the way, so it was all pretty easy peasy for me as far as that way was concerned, making sure there wasn't any vulnerables in the banks. And yeah, that was important. If we could get nobody in there, it would be perfect. We didn't want the terrified customers, you know what I mean? And that's the truth of it. Yes, I have hurt good people there. I throw my hands up to it. And I'm going to tell you something else, guys. And I haven't told you this, and not many people know this. And this may surprise a few people, but I never faced any of my victims ever until the Scottish thing, when they done me for the fingerprint and they got my co-accused to turn Queen's evidence, and they put me through, went through a 3-week trial. And I'll be honest with you, I'm out of prison. Fucking prison's well done. No license anymore, not on parole. Okay, nothing anybody can do to me, only myself. And when them women and men get up into the witness box of all them banks and give evidence of their ordeal, I have to admit, yes, some of them are at it, 100%. Because I know I didn't terrorise them, as in terrorise them. You know what I mean? I wasn't moving people about, putting people on the ground, telling people I was going to shoot them. You know what I mean? It was hard to watch. It was still hard to watch because I didn't realise. I thought it was a victimless crime. I really did, guys. One of the reasons I became a bank robber was because I thought it was a victimless crime. I wasn't taking anybody's money, and that was the driving. You got to understand, being a good guy. I was a good guy. This wasn't what I wanted to become. I didn't want to be a bank robber. I didn't want to be a paramilitary. I didn't want to be in and out of prison all my life. I didn't want to not have children until I was 55. My mum brought me up to be a really good boy. I went to church, I went to Sunday school, I went to BB. It was non-stop. It was non-stop, the thing that pushed it the wrong way was my mum also was an Advent loyalist. She loved the 12th of July, she loved the bands, and she loved the army running out of my house, you know what I mean? It was like, I lived in a really rough bit, a really bad bit, one of the worst parts of Belfast, and it was always getting bombed, and there was always army. And, was my mum overcompensating because she was from Wales? Because my mum moved from Wales when she was a teenager, And was she overcompensating because she landed in this area and she wanted to fit in? She wanted to be one part of the community. She wanted to integrate. Maybe that's what it was. And, unbeknown to her, she didn't know that would have led me in the direction that I went, full heartedly. And still to this day, I love my country. I really love my country. It's here, and I have to say, if we did go back to the Troubles, I probably would go back. I have to say that, guys. It's all I know, But I want to push for peace. I don't want that to happen. This is why I'm trying to bring Protestants and Catholics together. It's a very difficult situation. Maybe I wouldn't go back. I don't know. I don't know unless I'm put in that situation. All I know is what I know who I am. And I hold on to that in here. This here up here is this chaos. But up in here's always been solid, the church and all that. So, being then put into care and then getting abused, not going to school because of it, and then getting put into a training school because I wasn't going to school, and the training school was for all kids that committed crime. Like I say, I was the only guy, the only wee boy. I was the youngest, the smallest, always everywhere, and like I was 11 years old, guys, 11, 12 years old. There's no many people. I tell you this now, you'll not meet many men that have been in Rathgale at 11 or 12 years old. I promise you that. I'll put money on it. 100. I'll challenge. Yes, there's going to be a few guys out there, but there won't be many. I'm telling you. And, I was thrown straight in with criminals from one of the hardest areas in Belfast. They became my lifelong friends right at that moment. Some of the biggest names in Northern Ireland that household names. That's where I met them. They were my friends. I grew up with them. Went through prison, went through the Crumlin Road as a loyalist prisoner, went through the maze as a loyalist prisoner. We destroyed the Crumb together. Us guys that were back when I was 11, 12. That's how significant that change in my life was. And being a good person, having a good soul was very, very difficult. Very, very challenging. Not being trusted by some people because I was too nice was a problem. But I was always strong enough, you know what I mean? And maybe a bit naive, a bit stupid, to be honest with you, as well. There's probably times when I was in really dodgy situations, because I was too nice and I was being tested and didn't know I was being tested. And if something had went wrong, I probably wouldn't be here today, because that's the kind of paranoia in Northern Ireland when we had supergrass trials and information getting given to the police and we knew we had informers, people looked at the nice guys, there's no two ways about it. But lucky enough, I was an open book. I was honest. I was too honest, so people around me knew me. They just knew I couldn't do that. They knew that I wouldn't be disloyal. You understand? They knew because of having no family, because of having no children. My friends were my brothers, and I would die before I would stick any of my friends in ever, I would take always to my grave. That's one thing that's so loyal about me, and that's why it's even more difficult when one of my best friends put us all away. It's even more difficult. I suppose if a man is like that and is a grass and a snake and a snake, then if it happens to him, I imagine he deals with it a lot differently. But that happening to me was devastating, absolutely devastating. I mean, like, I can't even explain to you how devastating, emotionally devastating, even to this day, because it hurt me. No two ways about it. Hurt me, and I'm now able to talk about it, and I feel so big now because of it. You know what I mean? And I could have went another way. So many times, something else could have happened, and I could have got that by doing something else. But really, I'd probably be sitting here feeling really bad about myself, because at the end of the day, there's nothing really justifies to take somebody's life, no matter what you may think, no matter what I thought sitting in that cell, And the grace of God, the only thing saved that man's life was the fact that I was such a stubborn soul, such a, I do things, nobody does things for me, you know what I mean? I don't ask anybody to do anything that I can do. I'm one of them kind of guys, and I was determined when I was getting out, no, I'm sorting this, and that was the way it was. And, for the grace of God, for the grace of God, for him, it's turned out okay because, I'm a better man now. You know, I don't have to live like he does. I don't have to put my head down the pillow knowing what I've done because I've never done him a harm. You can imagine what I'm like with my friends. Okay, you can imagine if I've got money and that, I don't I give money away, guys. If I've got thousands of pounds around me and my friends have got nothing, they're living and doing exactly what I do. If I go out and buy trainers, they get trainers. Even when I got my compensation, when I got the £40,000 for the childhood abuse, I took friends out. Like Pedro, you've met Pedro. It's not really shouldn't be saying, but Pedro looked after me when my wife died and everything. So it was good to be able to give a bit back. And but so that's been me all my life, that has been me all my life. One of the reasons why the police have got me down for robbing so many banks in Northern Ireland is, you know, I don't know why they've got me down for robbing so many banks. I'm going to leave that there. Banks, bikes, banks. So I'm going to leave that there before I get myself into any trouble. Yeah, but yeah, they do. I am accused of, like, they say £1 million, £900,000 worth of bank robberies in Northern Ireland. Me solely is responsible for. And I always joke that they're close, but they're a wee bit off still, you know. But yeah, see, I'll just get myself into trouble. But it is what it is. They created me. The government created me. They put me in the place with criminals where I became a criminal. Well, a paramilitary, and like I had choices. I had lots of choices. Please believe me, and I chose to go down that road. And funding. So make doing something that's going to benefit what we're actually trying to do as a paramilitary organisation. Rather than running about kneecapping people and breaking people's arms for being bad boys, I wanted to do something more. And I got to travel the world. I got to travel the world, America, Canada, and all over Europe. And I'm a very, very lucky and fortunate man. More fortunate than luck, to be honest with you. Don't like using the word lucky. I'm going off the word lucky, and my baby's always going to be lucky. You know what I mean? We lucky. You know what I mean? But I don't like using the word luck all the time because I've got a God up there who is. I feel gets a wee bit disappointed with me every time I say I'm lucky. I think lucky because of the connection with Lucifer. A lot of people tend to go down the road of lucky is more of a devil thing, you know what I mean? Which I understand. And, I'm not going to sit here and say that to you guys. I'm not going to say, don't use the word lucky. At the end of the day, God knows who you are. If you're aware of that, what I just said about lucky and Lucifer and the connection with the devil and luck, if you're aware of that, then God knows you're aware of that, then you're okay. But, as long as you're not tipping your head to the devil without realizing it, because every time you say you're lucky, you could be tipping your hat to the devil. And, I'd rather say fortunate, the grace of God, why not? And let's be honest, let's be honest. Who knows anything? Who knows? Who knows if it's luck? Who knows if it's grace of God? Who knows if it's guardian angels? If we've all got a group of angels around us guiding us and protecting us as we move through life. See what I mean? The videos go so many different directions, and that is 25 minutes. I do not get my head around it why you guys want to sit and watch 25 minutes. I appreciate it, and it helps me get things out and organised in my head, so it helps me socially go through life because things are chaotic sometimes in chaos because of the lifestyle I've had. It is like oil and water, guys. I promise you, it's like oil and water. Taking that young, good child and throwing him in where I was thrown in isn't like mixing oil and water. And I've had to live that life mixing oil and water with so many different challenges that people don't really understand because you haven't lived the life. You couldn't understand the challenges that I've had socially from all different directions, navigating the world on my own with no family, no big brothers and all that, and nobody, you know, I don't know. It's been tricky. It's been hard, and I've learnt I've learnt in here that this here can get you through a lot of things, but can also get you into a lot of trouble. And it's always trying to sort this out, because this here is chaos. Like I say, this here and this here is connected. And this is the problem. You get a big guy, gives you a funny look. I mean, he could pick you up and use you to beat somebody else with. One of them guys, and I'm one of them ones that'll say, "Who the fuck are you talking to?" And that escalates into all sorts of chaos. And that's a problem. One of the big problems I have. One of the big problems I've always had. And yeah, and then there's you know trying to remain good, trying to remain a good soul. You know what I mean? Please believe me. Some of I've been in some very dark places, guys. Some really dark places, but some real like places where you can feel the darkness, you can feel the evil. I mean, like I've been around guys that fucking give off evil. I promise you. You know, I'm not kidding you. On. It's horrifying. And sometimes, you feel it and you don't know what it is. It's not till you work it out. And then when you start working out what it is, and it's terrifying. It really is terrifying. There's things that we don't know in this world, and there is people genuinely evil. There is a lot of people who are accused of being evil that aren't evil, but there is genuine evil people in this world. I have met them and I've been around them, and yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to detox, if for want of a better way of saying it, is detoxing from evil. Um, it sticks to you. It does, guys. It sticks to you. It's like it's like a nicotine. It's like a smoke. When it leaves that yellow. I know it sounds crazy. I'm going to stop because I'm starting to sound absolutely mental. I'm only telling you. I'm being frank and honest. Right? That's all I'm doing. I don't know how it comes out. I don't know how it sounds. You can tell me in the comments, guys. Um, I'm I'm thinking I'm being brave. I'm thinking doing this is like trying to help other people, people that've been in dark places, done dark things, and because of what they've been done as children, what's been happened to them as children, where they've been put, because they haven't been cared about, you know what I mean? And they haven't been nourished, you know what I mean? They haven't been loved. And some people can come out of that in a really bad way because they think bad about themselves because they've done some bad things. And I'm here to say to people like that no, you're good. That's why you're having chaos. This is why your head's chaos, because you're actually a good soul. And you can do bad things. You can do bad things. Please believe me. So ask God for forgiveness. Start there. If you don't believe in God, just try. Just try it. Say, please God, please forgive me for my sins. From this day forward, I'm going to try and walk in your path, and try something like that and see how you feel. See if things do get a bit easier. See if things get a wee bit, I'm not telling you go to church and read the Bible and go out in the street and preach. I'm just telling you, try and find another place where you can send the wee brother for five, you know what I mean? That's the best way I can explain it to you. Hopefully that gets across in some sort of way. Listen, guys, it's because I've got my psychologist, you know what I mean? Just had my first coffee and my first smoke. So, yeah, wee bit nervous, you know what I mean? And, but I'll be alright. You know what I mean? I'll be alright once I get in there. You know what I mean? I'm very good at hiding my nervousness, to be honest with you, so should be good. But I'll bring a wee video later on, let you know how I got on. It's only fair in it, you know what I mean? 'Cause I know quite a lot of you guys have been through this with me, have been through it yourselves, psychologists and getting help and addictions and all that as well. It's all about the services, and it's good to know about what's there for us and like how good they are, and are they any good? And if I can give some criticism, maybe somebody will pay attention to it and fix it, because like maybe an hour will do some people, but yeah, I think you can guess an hour's definitely not good for me. But it is what it is. We'll do the best with what we got, and we'll be grateful for the fact that the NHS have granted me this chance to get help. And I'm going to leave it at that, guys. So, all my love, have a really good Friday. Hope you've got something planned for the weekend. Hope you're trying to do something different than normal. Not everything costs money. A walk in the park, a walk in the forest. Get one of your friends to drive you. Talk one of your friends that's got a car. Get them to get you out in the country. There'll be wee walks all over the place. If it's a wee bit overcast, a wee bit cold, just wrap up. Once you're walking, your heart starts beating. You'll start warming up anyway. Just keep your hands in your head warm. Those are the two things. The heat leaves the top of your head. Keep your head, a nice warm hat in your head, and a pair of gloves on, and a good jacket. You'll be fine. You know what I mean? Promise you guys, it's the best medicine. Is walking, going out for a nice walk in the country, be around the forest, be around trees. I'm telling you, they're giving out energy. They're giving something out, and it helps us in some way. And I don't know what it is. These tree huggers. I'm not a tree hugger, but I will sit on a root coming out of a tree. And, you know, I can't prove it, but there's definitely something in it. There's definitely something in it. You got to understand, guys, tree hugging's been going on for a long time. You've got to admit, it can't be that many mad men and women that are running about holding on the trees, you know, saying, I'm getting something from this. You know what I mean? They can't all be nuts, you know? So, I am not a tree hugger. All my love. God bless every one of you.